Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus desk where there is AC inside.
Yes.
And we are not sweating outdoors.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You step outside, then you will. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's Tuesday, and of course on Studio 10 we have a booked full show, which is always fun and exciting. And of course, it being Tuesday, it's Take Me Home Tuesday.
Yes.
So we have the Capital Area Humane Society joining us to introduce us to a cute furry friend.
And a quick side note, one of our News 10 employees actually adopted that one cute dog last week.
Yes, Pickles was on our show last week, and Dashi, who works over in our sales department, adopted him and renamed him Ghost. And I've been seeing
that was the
pictures
name?
and videos.
That's
yes,
cute.
yes, daily. And it's just so exciting to see the joy that a pet can bring into people's families. So it's so exciting that we can have the Capillary Humane Society on and know that like every week this can happen, every day this happens, and so it could be you. So definitely tune in to see what fun furry animal is up for adoption. So we're excited about that. Plus on Saturday is of course Lansing Pride.
Yes, it is.
So we are super excited to have the organizer on and getting kind of an idea of what we can expect from entertainment to drinks to food to fun, and of course the importance of it all. So Claudia is working on a package for that to break it down, because it's all happening in Old Town, which is a great spot for it. I mean, the businesses down there, perfection. The restaurants down there, perfection. So I mean, it's a place to be, of course, on the 22nd. And then, I mean, geez, Louise, now that I think about it, celebration.
There's a lot going on.
There is, because tomorrow is Juneteenth. Yes. And so, of course, we have I keep on saying of course, we have a special happening at 5 p.m. that was put together and tells lots of stories. I think, we have...
I thought we had a little full screen of it, but perhaps not.
But it's at 5 p.m. and it's telling stories of so much of the impact. Well, first of all, what this day means and the history of it, the importance of it, but also telling stories of here. So Rochelle yesterday told this wonderful story of Dr. Olivia Letts, who was the first Black teacher in the Lansing School District. And then today she's sharing this exhibition that's over in East Lansing with quilts, and how Black stories were told in quilts. But for the longest time, these stories were not part of the Quilt Index, which is a national organization that kind of keeps track of the quilts and everything, and so a lot of stories got lost. And so this exhibition brings them to life and talks to different artists on how they continue to do that, so that way the past is not forgotten, and then that we can find inspiration in the past for our future.
Yeah, keep educating ourselves and learning their stories, telling their stories like we like to do. But yeah, learning the history on that, that's super cool.
Yeah, so that'll be exciting to hear for that, as well as, you know, we're dramatic on Studio 10. We love a drama on the stage, and so we're singing Hello Dolly. That's Music Hell is happening over at Center Stage.
Take it over, Nicole.
Well, not to brag, but I was in Hello Dolly in high school. It was my first high school production. Music Hell.
Look at you, Music Hell.
So if you want me to put on my Sunday clothes, and I'm not going to do it. We're going to let the professionals do it. So it was fun to go to Jackson to talk to not one, but both dollies. So they double casted the leads, just because there was so much talent there. And I think it brings enough a fun energy to the show when you have different dollies or different characters. So that way, and it gives everyone a chance to have that shining moment.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have that. Plus, you can win tickets to Hello Dolly. All you have to do is go to Studio 10 at WRLX.com and email us and tell us your name and your number, and we can get you those tickets. But we'll break down that giveaway on the actual show. And then, last but not least, Make an Impact is happening this week, and so Tommy's Express Car Wash is one of the drop-off spots for this.
I think this is right.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
so you can drop off diapers to Tommy's Car Wash, Tommy's Express Car Wash. So we're talking a little bit about that on our show as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Nicole. Like Nicole was just mentioning, we have our Make an Impact telethon happening this Thursday, and helping out with the Capital Area Diaper Bank. So make sure to go check that out. 517-346-8822 is that number to call this coming Thursday for your monetary or physical donations. And also, I'll go back to Studio 10 real quick. Nicole was also mentioning Let's Community Center. Great place, especially, again, Mrs. Let's, the first black teacher in our area. But on top of that, with the heat outside, I'll take a quick look outside over downtown Jackson. You're seeing the clouds. Prepare for some storms that you can expect later today. Andy Provenzano will have a check on your first alert forecast coming up. But other than that, since it's so hot and humid outside, the Let's Community Center, great place to go to cool off. And there's many other places like the Capitol or CATA that you can go to cool off, and many other places. So go to our website, WILX.com.
You can also
find that.
call 211. If you call 211, they'll get you connected with a cooling center in the area. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them are open. Not exactly sure, but if you call 211, they'll get you squared away, definitely.
Thank you, Erin Bowling. And you have your shades
Yes,
on.
yes. So today, you might want to keep your distance. I've been running around outside. It is very hot, so I got very sweaty.
Oh, that's why.
So
keep your
a
distance.
little
I was
bit,
like,
you know,
what's going on?
But no, today we're doing fun in the sun. So because of the heat, the Ingham County Board of Commissioners actually waived the entrance fees for all the parks for the remainder of the week. So if you want to go to Hawk Island, check out the splash pad, go to the beach, some of the other parks in the area, Lake Lansing, Birchfield Park, they're all free to visit for the rest of the week. So you can get in the water, cool off. They got a lot of shady spots out there. You know, some of the parks rent kayaks, they rent volleyballs, they rent horseshoes. So, and there's a lot of, you know, picnic areas that are covered. You can get out of the sun. Yeah, so talking with our Ingham County Parks Director this morning about what they have at the parks. When I went to Hawk Island this morning, there was a lot of people. It was quite packed. I can't say I've ever seen it that busy before.
Especially for the splash pad, just running through there.
Right, and it is so hot. Like I said, I was dripping in sweat running around with the camera. So, you know, it's definitely a good day to get out and get in the water. But past that, and a little bit more of a serious note, I also spoke with the Tri-County Office on Aging today, and they just want to make sure, you know, people are checking in on their loved ones during this heat. You know, when it gets so hot, with the elderly population is one of the most vulnerable, and just want to make sure everybody's doing okay. You know, if sometimes you've got a loved one who's got Alzheimer's, dementia, they may not be as aware of the heat, or even if it's, you know, that hot.
Yeah, so making sure their AC units are turned on, they have water.
Yep, they've got everything they need. If they're staying inside, that they're not doing any strenuous activity, you know, it can be quite easy to overdo it, strain yourself in these hot temperatures. So we got a message from the Tri-County Office on Aging and helping keep elderly folks safe during this time. That'll be on News 10 at 6, and then Fun in the Sun on News 10 at 5:30. I'm quite excited. I had a lot of fun. I'll be live out in the field. I'll be going back to Hawk Island, hanging out with those lovely folks over there. So,
I like it.
yeah.
I like the glasses. I like
Thank
the whole
you.
thing you've
Thank
got on.
you,
This is,
right?
She's rocking it. Fun in the sun
fun
for
in
sure.
the sun, yeah.
But yes, take care of your loved ones too, because it is extremely hot. You want to make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure you're drinking your water too, Erin
I
Bowling.
am. Tell you what, I've got my ice water ready to go. So yeah,
Well, that's good.
Good one today.
Yeah, and we have our WIL extra innings. I need to see if that's still happening because of the heat.
Well, you know, I don't know if the game's happening because of the heat, and then the game's at 6:15, and I'm live in the 6, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it there today.
I know,
but,
we need you.
Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled the game. I mean, I would
It's
be
hot.
honestly, I would be kind of happy because, like I said, just walking around outside today, I was dripping in sweat.
Yeah.
So yeah, very
All right.
hot. Yeah, but
get
News
back
10
to
at
you.
5:30,
Yes.
News 10 at 6 o'clock. I'll be live in the field talking about these hot temperatures.
All right, thank you, Erin. We
Yes.
will see you then. Thank you for joining the News 10 Plus desk.
Always.
And of course, here's what we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Erin was just talking about checking on your loved ones who may have Alzheimer's or other brain diseases. And so coming up on First at 4 during Mid-Michigan Matters today, we are speaking with an expert on Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month during the month of June. So speaking on the signs and symptoms to look out for when it comes to Alzheimer's, and while there is no cure, how can you limit your risk to the disease? And then also, like Erin was mentioning, just keeping an eye on your loved ones, making sure that, you know, they have water on standby, that they're fueled up with their food, there's no objects in the way of their mobility. And so again, just checking on your loved ones and learning the signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's, and then improving your brain health. That's what we're talking about on Mid-Michigan Matters. And then coming up News 10 at 5 today, millions of Americans have diabetes, but many of them have a difficult time affording insulin, the medication needed to keep them alive. So coming up on News 10 at 5, we look at insulin deserts and a proposal to cap prices for everyone. And then coming up News 10 at 5:30 today, Last night, the Boston Celtics won the NBA championship. I know our producer, Matt, is very excited about that with his green Celtics jacket. So one of whom, it was an amazing night for one of the players, and one of whom played high school basketball right here in the Lansing area. So coming up, News 10 at 5:30, our very own Fred Heumann speaks with the high school coach of Al Horford. That's coming up, News 10 at 5:30. And then coming up, News 10 at 6 today. It happens every day. People hit the roads in Michigan and text while driving. But it is illegal, especially since we have our hands-free driving law. So it is illegal in the state to have a cell phone or any other mobile device in your hand while driving. So our News 10 Ann Emmerich tagged along with a local sheriff to see his department enforcing the law. And that is coming up on News 10 Investigates at 6 p.m. today. But we also have Isley Herschel standing by here to share what she has coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Hello, Isley. What can you tell us?
Hi. So today I actually went to an excavation site on MSU's campus, which is super cool. I didn't think they did that, but they have been for the past couple of years. And there were MSU students who were digging up an old observatory that dates back to like the 1800s.
That's really cool.
It's so cool, yeah.
What kind of observatory, do you know?
I think it's just like with telescopes and stuff, that kind of thing. I know it was really small, like almost small enough where you couldn't really teach anything in there, but it was used as a classroom in the 1800s. So super cool, yeah. So students are not only like being able to get this experience, but they're learning about what these students like did in the 1800s. So they were learning about how the students actually built this building.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's part of their courses. They were supposed to build buildings, which
Back in the
honestly makes
1800s.
sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
That does make sense.
Because how else are they going to
that's-
build it that fast? Like, I don't know.
That's impressive.
It's cool, yeah. I mean, obviously the building didn't last long because it was made by students, but
Oh, wow.
it's still cool.
Okay, so coming up in our 90 minutes, you're going to be sharing more about this observatory.
Yeah.
The archaeological findings that the MSU students had on this.
Yeah, they found some cool things, so very interesting to see. I'll be at News 10 at 5.
All right, News 10 at 5. Make sure to go check that out. Thank you, Isley. We'll take a live look outside. I'll head over to East Lansing in just a second here. Thank you, Isley. But right now, getting a live look over Lansing. As you're heading outside, you are seeing more of those clouds moving into our area. And then I'll get a live look at Michigan State University where Isley has her story. There we go. We have a lot of cords back here. Make sure no one's fallen or anything. Okay, there we go. Yes, a live look over Michigan State University where Isley has her story on the archaeological findings on the observatory that the MSU students helped build back in the day in the 1800s. She's going to have more. And I also know that Chris Schultz is joining us from East Lansing. So hello, Chris. Welcome to the News 10 Plus digital desk. Thank you for joining us. I'm also going to get a live look in Delta Township right now before heading to Tanaya Jordan, who's going to share what she has coming up in her 90 minutes of news. You are seeing more of those clouds outside, so just keep an eye on that as you are heading out throughout the rest of your day. And then we'll head over to WILX.com in just a second here so you can see what to expect throughout the rest of our day across mid-Michigan. So I gave you the live looks. That's what's happening. But if we go to first alert weather, let me take this down. You're seeing what Darren has. Heat and humidity continue throughout the day. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit here, and you're going to see the almanac information in previous years of what has been expected. And as you're seeing, the Lansing record high in 1994 was 98. And in Jackson, 1907, it was 95. But take a look at what we are at today in Lansing. And of course, if you're in Jackson or Holt or Mason or any of the other areas, DeWitt, feel free to, put it to your specific location. But here's a little look at our website, WILX.com. We'll see if there's any showers coming up in the next couple of hours here on our radar. Oh, and it looks like, just little ones. Okay, but you can always download the First Alert Weather app for more updates on your First Alert forecast. Of course, our meteorologists will have more coming up, especially Andy Provenzano during our 90 minutes of news. So make sure to tune in then. But we do have Tanaya Jordan standing right next to me. And hello, what do you have today?
Hi. So guys, I know you've probably heard about the trucks that have been crashing into the Pennsylvania Bridge over near the Potter Park Zoo. Two have hit it yesterday, and I'm sure there's a number of them who have hit it over the years. So basically, we're going to talk to some people in the area who live there to see what they've seen over the years, and then we'll talk to the city because they are kind of not really in control of it because it's a Canadian-based owner, but it's in their city, so they have some kind of oversight for it. So we're going to talk to them to see like what's happening, what can be done to stop this from happening because it keeps happening, and just how people can be safe in that area. So that's coming up tonight at 5, and yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Geez, I know we've had, like you said, multiple stories or like different reports of these trucks hitting that bridge. Okay, you're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Getting to the bottom of it tonight at 5. Check it out.
With Tanaya Jordan.
Yes.
All right, I like it.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, Tanaya, for sharing what you have coming up. And one more time, here's what we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news, just to get one last live look at that. So again, that is what we have coming up. A whole variety of things today on News 10. And I'm also going to share our You're Not Alone mental health series because we were talking about Alzheimer's and brain health during the month of June. And so I just want to share this. If you have a loved one who is living with Alzheimer's or dementia or any other brain disease, and they're looking for help, you're looking for help, something to get off your chest, talk about the things that have been going on with a professional who can provide that guidance with you. And maybe it's not anything brain health related. Maybe it's, that would be with mental health. So whether you're facing anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, stress, addiction with substance abuse, gambling, maybe you're fixated on something because you've got your mind wrapped up in something else. Know that you're not alone. There are mental health resources out there for you, and mental health care professionals who want to help you. That is their job, to be there for you. So just know you're not alone. There are resources out there for you. And here on News 10 all year long, we're sharing stories from community members so that you know that you're not alone. We've shared stories from lawyers, finance advisors, student athletes who feel like they lost a sense of identity within themselves when, completing their final years with a certain sport and being a student as well and moving forward with their lives onto new things. That can be a challenge going through those life transitions. And when you're part of something for so long and then it comes to a closure, that can be difficult for you to provide yourself with that sense of closure. So know that there are those mental health care professionals and resources out there for you. And we want you to know that you're not alone. But we have more stories coming up today on News 10 during our 90 minutes of news. We have Deanna Giles and Mars Anderson who are going to share what they have coming up. And Deanna has hers coming up News 10 at 5. So we're going to check in with her.
If you're going outdoors, you'll certainly get a taste of these 90-degree days. Although if you're indoors and your air conditioning is working properly, you can escape the heat. I'm Deanna Giles, and I spoke with one heating and cooling company who says now is the time to make sure your HVAC systems are running smoothly. I'll have the details coming up during our 90 minutes of news.
All right, thank you, Deanna. Make sure you get those HVAC systems checked, like Deanna was just talking about, especially because you're going to be cranking the AC units this week with the 90 degrees. We are now going to check with Mars Anderson to see what he has coming up. News 10 at 6. Mars.
Hi, Taylor. Mars Anderson here outside of the Parkwood YMCA in East Lansing. Now, of course, I know that you would have wanted me in front of that pool, but trust me, it is hot in there. But of course, we are talking about pool safety following the death of a 5-year-old near Williamston. I'm going to share details and advice from experts on how to keep your kids safe as the summer continues on and the heat continues to scorch right here in mid-Michigan. For now, I'm going to toss it back to you at the station.
All right, thank you, Mars. Yes, Mars is recapping the death of the 5-year-old boy near Williamston in that pool. So we're going to share more on that. Again, News 10 at 6 with Mars Anderson. Again, one more time, whether you're going through, a day-to-day challenge or something traumatic like you're grieving, you're mourning a loss of someone, know that you're not alone and there are resources. So I just want to leave this up here just a little bit longer. I know people talk about the heat and the humidity. We've been wanting the heat. I've been wanting the sun, but sometimes, too much of this can, bring us a little bit down and we start getting into our feelings a little bit, which is okay. That is more than valid. Feel how you're feeling. But know that you are not alone and there are resources to help you out no matter what you're going through. And so we have those resources up on the screen for you through that QR code that you can scan, and you can seek the resources that can improve your emotional well-being when you are ready to do so. So that is what we have coming up today on News 10. I'm going to share what we have, where you can find Studio 10, excuse me, on YouTube. So that way, if you want to go back on, find anything that you can do during this heat and humidity, this weather that we have all week long, you can tune in then. So I'm going to bring you to the YouTube page right now. WILX Studio 10, this is where you can go and you can check out their home videos. You can click videos, or you can click on playlists as well. So I'm going to click on that real quick. I know it's Tuesday, but maybe you need to rewatch some Motivation Monday to get you throughout the week. If you want to stay inside because of the heat and humidity, you can check out Cole's Crafts, always a great thing to do. And also, Rochelle has her own dishes too that you can check out. I need to find where, oh, Rochelle's Recipes. Go check that out too if you're looking for some yummy summer food that can fuel you up this summer. Or if you want to stay indoors, do a little both. You can make some Rochelle's Recipes while making some Cole's Crafts. So there you go, just some fun summer things that you can do, especially with heat and humidity if you want to stay inside. I know Mars was at the pool, but even if it's too hot for the pool, you can stay indoors with AC, drink plenty of water, get some food in you, nutrition that will fuel you back up, and then you can do some fun crafts indoors. But that is what we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news today and what we have coming up on News 10 as a whole. Studio 10 gets started here. And let's see, in just over half an hour, followed by First F4 and our 90 minutes of news. And then our First Alert meteorologist, Andy Provenzano, will have much more into your First Alert forecast regarding the heat and humidity, the storms to look out for, and when we will cool down to the 80s, which will feel like a cool down by the time we get there. So Andy will share more of that coming up on Studio 10 today and the rest of our day here on News 10. So thank you for joining us on the News 10 Plus desk. Have a great rest of your day and stay hydrated.